At his 2005 part two. These are all the outcasters and their friends. Here's Drake in mourning for Missy. He's kind of saying goodbye to himself. That's why his picture's on the wreath. And there's Rye saying goodbye to his parents. Here are the outcasters: Drake, Rye, Gino, Rosemary, and Jorge in Christmas outfits. Here's another cover to Rye. This is the same one as I showed you yesterday. I could have showed most of this art like under sunlight, but I wanted to use the computer. And here's Moses before he becomes Mud, the bulldog. Here's Ashley before she becomes a robot. And here is Eric before he becomes Electro or Eco. So there's a lot of ideas I threw out there. Here's Zetrolok before and after Gamma Droid Prime. The characters here, you got Valiant, you got the Mexican Avenger, you got the circus freaks in the back. I was adding more characters. I was adding more people because I wanted to build this in, like The Simpsons. You know, when you have The Simpsons in Springfield, you know, you add more characters. The Simpsons, you add Apu, Otto, Principal Skinner, the comic book guy, Mrs. Krabappel, Hans Molman, Mr. Burns. So you add new characters, right? And here I'm adding new characters on top of the main five. These are the ones from 1997 redrawn. So this is what they look like before they became monsters. Eric, Ashley, and Moses are the circus freaks. There's Eric here. Very different in design. I wanted to kind of keep on the theme of science fiction, but funny characters, but serious stories. Here's the Outcasters here at the bottom and Little Miss Valentine. The two black characters are Oyeya Wambui, who is in her 30s, with her son, who's 18, Kamau. Kamau, which means Silent Warrior. Here are the Outcasters again in the Christmas outfits. So I was getting towards a point where I wanted serious storytelling. I wanted serious directions. I didn't want it to be a funny, like, comic strips anymore. I did go back to the comic strip format in 2008. But it would take a few years before I kind of said, well, I could do certain stories. Right now, right after I'm doing this, I'm working on some new art that focuses on sudden transformations. Like, you know, if you transform this alien to this robot here. So it tells a story, but it's just a 3D art. It's like origami. I'm going to use mostly staples when I staple the construction color paper to the Bristol board, because I find when I glue things, it warps the paper faster than a Nintendo Switch. So that's pretty much it for this. I'll talk a little bit more for about I'll get like 5 minutes here, a 5-minute video here. I've had fun with this so far, you know, trying to tell you all these stories. I realize I get like 10 or less views, but understand that artists have a hard time. If I'm not doing something stupid or obviously buttfuck stupid and making an ass of myself, if I'm not saying something racist or sexist without any educational background to it, kind of like my Star Trek video, then I'm not getting many views. You know, I'm not going to get a lot of views. That's Oyeya and Kamau in the background right here. So you'll see more pictures of the rest of the characters for next week. 2006 is when I started adding characters. I focus on the origin of Gino a bit, a little bit more stuff. And then 2007, in 2 weeks, I'll focus on that year with the book, The Outcasters Drake. And just to kind of be respectful to my publishing company, I'm not going to show you all of the book because it's not fully, like I said, I'm still making money off of selling the book. Those copies are there now, but anyway. So that's pretty much it. It's just there's more detail than there was before. It wasn't just simply drawing. I paid attention more to proportions, likenesses. You'll see in 2008 I used photorealistic like profiles, all these things. So as I got older, at this time I was looking for work. I worked in dead-end jobs at Sears, warehousing, and looking for jobs at the unemployment office, people for disabilities. So it was tough for me. I was 27 and I was struggling. So I'm going to end on one of these pictures here. Uh, when you create, it's harder. It's harder to stick with the things that don't work and make it work for years. And for 23 years, it's just trying to make these characters still relevant today. And they're still relevant. Okay, the Circus Freaks are still relevant. The Outcasters are still relevant. The Devastators are still relevant. The Angels of New Day that I created back in 2003, they're still relevant. So I'm going to sign out. Be kind, be cruel, be you. Till next week.